And welcome, my friends, to a new year of DevNation show. So I hope everything is working on your end. We are trying a completely new setup here. So hopefully my connection says 6 on the 10. So as usual, my problem is the connection. So let me see here how it's going. Yeah, looks like not so bad. Awesome. So you will notice a few changes. First of all, for people who were expecting a tech talk with Edson as host, well, that's the first big change. Now, 1 week we will have the show, and the other week we will have the tech talk. So last week was the tech talk, today is the show, next week will be the tech talk. For people who know the show, though, you notice that we changed the day. Now it's on Thursday, and it's not at, I'm speaking my time. It's not at 4 p.m., it's at 6 p.m., okay? And a few other changes. You see no cap. Yeah, I finally cut my hair, so I don't need a cap anymore. But I had some hats here if I need to. Other thing that you will notice is I'm standing. Look, I can walk around. I got a standing desk, so that's really, really cool. And no green screen. You can see my green screen there is folded. I'm trying something lighter. I can move better. Some lights. Look how cool it is. I can change here the lights. Yes. I got this cool Pac-Man over there. Oh, come on. Doesn't work always. Okay, so fun stuff. I finally found something to do with my iPad. Okay, so it's a fireplace now. And let me check in the chat because I have to switch screens. Okay. Say hello in the chat, please. Be chatty. Don't be shy. I love interaction. I think James is already there. James is a hardcore fan of the show. I don't know if Gigi Mehdi is there or Sun, all the usual suspects that are usually there. There are some changes, but some stuff doesn't change. Okay, so right after my intro, we will have the interview. Okay, it will be a cool interview, and let me see if I can do that. We will do some sheet ops. That's really hard for me to not say the other word, sheet ops. Okay, I will show you how to manage pods with Google Sheet. Okay, and then we will play the game. I will use a game that we all played together before, the Pac-Man game, because it's really, really popular. And there might be new people here, people that were expecting the tech talk and that discovered the show today. Well, you will discover the games, okay? And Pac-Man is a really cool game. We will be competing each other, and you score points by eating ghosts. Okay, and I will have a leaderboard, and we will see who is the best one. Usually the best one is Sun. I don't know if Sun is here. Oh, there is Aurélie. Cool, Aurélie. Hi, Aurélie. And there is also, wow, you have a really complicated name to pronounce, but I will try it. Karbawinagam. Oh, I'm sorry if I misspelled it. And James is there. Okay, so now it's time for the interview. And for this first show of 2021, I would like to welcome, let me remove the overlay. I would like to welcome Bruno. Hi, Bruno.
Well, hey, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. I'm just wondering, I don't see myself anymore. I only see you.
You should press some buttons.
Yeah, I tried to press the button, but why don't I see my... how can I do that? Let me, we are discovering. Let me see in the feed. Oh yeah, on the feed we only see you. That's awesome. Come on, contains, cover. Let me see. Can I maximize? Oh, you are maybe because you are max. Yeah, you were in maximized. That's why.
I love being the guest, so I don't have to deal with OBS and streaming tools and all that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got to be honest, it's a really more light setup than we had before. Before it was crazy. We had a computer running in the cloud, a mini Mac, who was running OBS, and we were opening a BlueJean connection with it, and to have the guests. and then this machine was streaming, and so there were a lot of moving parts, and a lot of things could go wrong. But
Are
now,
you
yeah,
are you saying that you were streaming a stream to stream the show to
yeah,
streamers
yeah,
watching the stream?
exactly. It was a
That's
inception stream.
it's crazy, man. That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. So let me check the overlay if that works. Oh yeah, like you have all these overlays and cool stuff that you can do. Yeah, you just have to. Yeah, I cannot use my Stream Deck anymore, but clicking is okay. So hey, Bruno, welcome. You are the first guest of 2021, and like I always ask to my guest, could you introduce yourself for people who don't know who you are?
Absolutely. My name is Bruno Borges, not Borges. Bro Borges. I like to clarify that. It's okay if you get it wrong the first time. It's not okay if you get it wrong by the 10th time. I work at Microsoft as a product manager, and I work with our Java engineering group. And some folks in the Java community know some of our engineers. We have Kirk Pepperdine, we have Martin Verberg, we got George Adams, who also works on my PM team. We got Monica Beckwith, who's amazing in garbage collection, and she's been writing some articles. If you search for garbage collection in Java and you don't find her article and don't read it, you just missed something awesome.
Okay.
And I'm from Brazil, and I live in Canada. So how about that? You know, escaping the warm weather of Brazil to come here and end up in what we like to say, Vancouver, in Canada. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. So it's a morning for you. It's something around 9 or no?
It is morning to me. It's about 9:08 in the
Okay.
morning. The sun has not appeared yet because it's cloudy. I mean, the winter time here, it's like cloudy a lot.
Cloudy a
But
lot.
it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. And just about your name, one funny story, because maybe you know him. There's someone at Reddit, a Frenchman, who is called Bruno Borges. I don't know if you know him, but and I often when he doesn't tweet that much, but often I mix up your name because I just look, I say, oh, Bruno Borges? Oh, no, Bruno Borges. So that was just a story. Anyway, other question that I asked last year, but it's still, I can still ask this question this year is, well, things changed a bit in the world last year, in March. And you were like me, you were like traveling a lot to conferences. And, well, we could not do that anymore. So how did you manage this situation? What did you do? Could you?
Yeah, what ended up happening was just like stay at home, and for me it was not a big change because since I left Brazil and I started working, actually even before I left Brazil, when I was living in São Paulo and I got my job at Oracle at that time, I was living roughly near the office, and the closer I was to the office, the less interested I was getting to the office, because I was like, yeah, I'm just going to stay at home, and then if I need to, I can just walk and just go there, right? So I was working from home from like in the mornings, and then I would go to the office around lunch, hang out with other employees, and have some meetings from the office. And then around 4 or even before that, sometimes I would just go home and escape the rush hour. And São Paulo is crazy rush hour.
No.
I could not literally walk to the office because it was for a walking distance, but I could get a cab, and it was like less than 10 minutes cab, and it was cheap drive by cab, or even go by train, even cheaper, but a little bit more time consuming. But it's still close. And for anyone who's been to São Paulo before, you know there's no commute of less than 1 hour, right? And for me, it was always less than 30 minutes, no matter how I did it, except walking. And then in the US, same thing. Right? I was living like literally, then it was walking distance from Oracle HQ, and I ended up buying a bicycle, but I would still like work from home in the morning and in the evenings, and just be in the office around lunchtime. Um, and now in Canada, most of folks in my previous team at Microsoft were remote, so they accepted. Yeah, you can work for Microsoft from Canada, like nobody cares. And it's the same arrangement now with the Java group here. So yeah, it's been amazing. Oh, you have to work from home. I'm like, I'm already working from home most of the time, so not a big change. The biggest change to me was that the office space that I have today is now shared with my wife. So, right here, I have 3 monitors. Right behind it, I have my wife. So that's actually a good thing, and I'll tell you why. Whenever I'm in a meeting and I say something stupid, she looks at me and she's like,
"No, yeah, you have
sure about that." Yeah. So at that moment, I know that I said something stupid and I should rephrase it, apologize, and be an adult in the meeting. So I love my wife for that, and she helps me behave at work. So it's a really great setup. If you don't have a wife device in your home office, I recommend you to get one. It's really good. It helps.
Awesome. So Microsoft and Java. Tell me everything.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start. I was just looking at the Java at Microsoft Twitter account. I like the bio. Yeah, saying from Azure to Minecraft to the JVM. I don't. So, yeah, do us a small overview, and then we will see if we dive into one of the topics.
Yeah, I mean, we can start with that tagline. Can you read that again, word by word?
Let me find it again. It was retreat. One tweet was retreat. Are you managing this account, or?
Yes, I am. I am.
So I guess it was you that retweeted that. Where is it? Where is my? Let me Java at Microsoft. Oh, there it is. 1 second. Java at Microsoft spans from Azure to Minecraft, across SQL Server to Visual Studio Code and beyond. We use more Java than one can imagine.
That is true, and people get shocked by that quite often. Even people here at Microsoft get shocked by that.
Okay.
I mean, Microsoft is a large company. Microsoft has, by the official number, something like 120,000 employees around the world. And Microsoft has a DNA that is not Java. We all know that. It's a .NET, C++ company that is focused on those ecosystems. And .NET, it's an ecosystem that Microsoft is the steward and leads that community. So for people here to realize, oh, we actually use Java a lot, I mean, that's quite shocking for them. So imagine for Microsoft customers and other people outside this Microsoft world, it is shocking. And I got ready for that tagline. It's for Theresa Nguyen. She joined Microsoft a couple of years ago. She came from Tommy Tribe, and she also works with us. And she actually works with the. She's engaged with the Red Hat partnership that Microsoft has with you guys. Yeah. She's amazing, and we've been working together for since pretty much when I joined. And she came up with that tagline, and it's pretty sweet. Yeah, and it really represents. It really represents what Microsoft has in-house for Java developers. Not only we build tools and services and products, but we also consume Java, and that to me is even more amazing. It's easy to be a vendor that produces tools for others. It's really hard when you use those tools for yourself, right? It's like that's what impresses me. And one thing that I can share is how many JVMs we did. We did an assessment a couple months back. we've identified about 500,000 JVMs running inside Microsoft.
Wow.
And this is just for internal systems, internal usage, not Azure customers, right? Azure customers is another number.
Yeah,
and for internal workloads, there are a few major drivers. If you have a resume online, guess where that is hosted? It's on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
So LinkedIn's backend is 99% Java. And that includes microservices, distributed microservices running inside containers and whatnot. And they also have, if you know the history, it was LinkedIn who created Apache Kafka years ago. And they still run Kafka internally, of course, and they have pretty much the same code that is upstream. They have a few changes, a few enhancements for their needs, but it's pretty much the same thing. And all of that runs on top of the JVM. And the other thing that we found interesting is the Azure infrastructure.
Okay, yeah.
When you of course there's Minecraft, which everyone knows, but the interesting use case that I found where Java is used in mission critical application inside Microsoft. If you go to Azure and you want to create a VM,
yes,
when you click create, that goes into a pub subsystem. Right? It queues up that request in the Azure infrastructure. So you have that VM provision somewhere. All of that pub subsystem is based on
Kafka.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So we got Kafka. We also have Zookeeper. We have a lot of Spark workloads for machine learning and big data. We have some Hadoop as well. But the interesting thing on this particular Azure use case is that if there is a problem in the JVM, which hopefully there will never be, Azure stops working. If there is a crash in the JVM, Azure stops working. So how cool is that? It's so mission critical that the JVM is extremely important to us. And that's one of the many reasons that we have a Java engineering group at Microsoft. You want to make sure that the JVM is always well configured, well optimized. The tuning of the JVM matches the workloads that run on top of it. And that's what most of the work that Martin's team does here. And not only that, but we also have teams that produce tools for developers on Visual Studio Code, on Azure services like App Service that provides Tomcat, Java SE applications, and also recently we added JBoss. So I think JBoss is a Red Hat product, right?
Exactly.
I heard.
You heard? Yeah.
I heard. And there is now a JBoss runtime on Azure App Service. So if you have a Java application, you want to bring it over to Azure, the easiest way is now with this JBoss runtime. But not only the one, this partnership with Red Hat is pretty amazing for Java developers. We got the Azure OpenShift service.
Yeah, exactly.
Is OpenShift a thing?
Oh yeah, OpenShift is awesome. No, right. And how is it called? RAO? I don't know the three-letter word for the manage OpenShift on Azure, but yeah.
They call ARO. Arrow.
Yeah.
Arrow.
I was right. I was afraid I was mentioning the competitors. I don't. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that acronym. I like
Arrow. Arrow. Yeah.
Like Arrow sure. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a great partnership. We have customers. I talk to customers having OpenShift running on Azure because for multiple reasons. They could have some OpenShift running on Amazon, but also some on Azure because the region is better for them, or there are some CPUs on these machines in this region that they need. And that's cool. And when you talk about the JVM, which JVM are you using at Microsoft?
Inside Microsoft, we use a variety. We have a variety of JVMs. We go some services are running on Ubuntu, and some services just go with the Ubuntu build of OpenJDK. The one that you do like apt install OpenJDK, that's a binary that was put together by Ubuntu, right? We have some adopt OpenJDK. We have some Oracle JVMs, and we have some Azure. Not some, actually. There's a lot of Azure system JVMs, and the reason of this variety of JVMs, I mean, it's really like each team started at different moments in time. So they were like, yeah, we're gonna go with this JVM, and then the other team is like, we're gonna go with that JVM, and so it's a very diverse Java ecosystem inside Microsoft. Different versions as well, but there are a few Java 7 usage that I don't like. I wish they would just switch to Java 8 at least. So that's one work that we're doing. Yeah, we are working with some teams to like, please stop using Java 7. It's like end of public updates, no more updates. Okay. Like stop using. But the majority is Java 8, followed by Java 11. And Java 11 is tricky for some workloads. For example, with Spark and Hadoop, they are still like just. If you want to upgrade Spark to be able to run Java 11, you have to go to the latest version of Spark, like the 3X version. Yeah. There are some challenges. It's not just changing the JVM. You really have to upgrade the Spark cluster. So it's like not an easy task.
Exactly.
So for that one and for a few other use cases, we are like, okay, you're forgiven. You can stay on 8 for a bit longer. Exactly. So we'll give you more time.
Cool. And you mentioned tooling. Visual Code. Huge takeoff since 2 years now. That's what I feel. Well, it's since I started using it, but I have the feeling it's almost a new standard, at least for developer advocates like us when we demo, and almost everyone uses it now. And but it's really cool. I like it a lot. And
yeah, Visual Studio Code. I gotta say that at the heart of the Visual Studio Code Java support, there is Red Hat. Red Hat is everywhere, man. Like,
we are everywhere.
Like Visual Studio Code is a Microsoft technology, fair enough, and then the whole Java support on Visual Studio Code, all the features that appear for people on the surface, are like most of them are done by Microsoft, but nothing would be possible without Red Hat. Like the core of the Java support comes from an extension called Language Support for Java.
Exactly, it's a server language.
Yeah, and it's done by Fred, I guess.
Frédéric Bricon, yes.
Yeah, and I think he lives in Canada too. I think he lives in Toronto.
I think he moved back to France a few months ago, but he was in Toronto. You're right.
Yeah. So I gotta give him credit because he does most of the work on that extension, and that extension is the language server for the Java support. So everything that people see in terms of like Java compilation and errors and warnings and integration with being able to have the bytecode already compiled, so you can just click, which is by a Microsoft extension. But everything behind the scenes is really done by that extension. So without that, there's no Java support. So I gotta give a big shout out to Red Hat and Fred, because you all have done a great job with that.
Yeah, and I will let them know. And the other cool thing with all this support and all these extensions, but because there's also the Quarkus extension, etc., they can reuse that in the Eclipse J. These extensions just work across. So
yeah. I was never a big fan of the idea of IDEs in the browser, and I still am not.
Yeah, for you, it's just an Eclipse in the browser, because that's still the assumption that most people have.
Yeah, I was like, why would I put an IDE in the browser if I have it right here in my computer? Why loading it inside the browser, right? So just give me the IDE so I can run locally. But the big game changer for my perception of that use case has been GitHub code spaces, and which is similar concept here with Eclipse GA, right? You got your VM, remote VM, and you have the ID in the browser, more like an interface for that development environment. That's what I like to call.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as an IDE in the browser. What you have, it's a web interface for development environment.
Yes, that is cool.
And it's different when you think about that. Like when you come from that perspective, it's different. You stop thinking about an IDE inside the browser, and you start thinking, okay, I have a web interface connected remotely to my development environment that's running elsewhere, right? And I think that's a game changer. Code spaces and J and other solutions, they have really nailed the idea. But if people are still not happy with the idea of an editor inside the browser, the thing I like about Visual Studio Code is the remote development extensions.
Oh yeah,
where right, I open Visual Studio Code and I can say, okay, remote connect to this VM here. So now everything on my Visual Studio Code, all the files and the extensions, they end up running on that VM inside on that server. So I heard that you're having some connection issues. So if people are having connection issues, that's a great solution. You just put your a VM somewhere.
Yeah.
By the way, ask your employer to do that, so you don't have to pay a VM. And then you can just remote connect and run everything on that machine in Visual Studio Code or J, just like an interface for that.
Yeah.
So when you do like Maven install,
it runs there.
It runs there. So the whole connection, bandwidth, data usage comes from that VM to the CDN servers hosting all the dependencies and jar files and Docker images and whatnot.
Yeah, or so when you compile to native with Quarkus, that's another good use case because it sucks up all the resources from your computer. Believe me,
it takes some time.
Especially when you're streaming in front of a lot of people and you say, "No, I don't do it anymore in live," but because you say, "Hey, look how it's a bit long." Usually it's 2 minutes, but when streaming, it can take some 5 minutes. And
Look how amazing. I'm going to show you a native image that will run super fast, but it's going to just take 30 minutes to compile. Please stand by.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And but about this deported IDEs, the other really cool use case is when you need to work on old code to fix on old stuff. There's a customer, they have a lot of Jenkins plugins that has been developed over years and years. And the idea is that is there is a ticket open, a Jira ticket with all the specs of which JVM, which environment. The developer just can click on this button on this ticket and it spawns up a workspace with this plugin, load up, he make his fix, he throw the workspace away. And yeah, that's another really cool use case that I have in mind. So
it's concept with the same concept is behind remote development on VS Code. The idea of remote development, it's really not that it's remote. It's more like it's running somewhere, and that somewhere can actually be a Docker container inside your computer with all the settings inside that container, all the extensions running there. And also, this also means that you can have a different JDK running inside that image. You can have different native libraries, native packages that are required for that application. So you really don't have to mess up your computer, install a bunch of things to make something work. You can isolate all of that environment in a container image. And that's pretty cool. I mean, I remember the old days when I would have to go to VirtualBox and set up a Ubuntu VM just so I can have the specific version of everything so I could debug a production-like environment. And I'm like, this is so much trouble. So the Docker image idea is pretty cool and faster.
Professor, yeah. And since we speak about containers, let's finish on Kubernetes. Are you a user of Kubernetes? Do you?
Oh, everyone is a user of Kubernetes. Yeah. Everyone. I mean, everyone is hitting a website that is deployed on Kubernetes. Everyone is a user of Kubernetes. Does everyone feel the same pain as developers? Not really. And I'm glad I'm not that kind of person. So I am not a developer who interacts with Kubernetes, and I really want to stay that way for as long as I can.
You don't want to write resource files the whole day? You see me coming?
No.
What's your favorite format?
No, I'm good I'm good right now. I'm happy. I have a good work-life balance. I have a good mood in the morning. And I don't have to go to sleep at night thinking about whether I missed a white space.
Yeah.
I like that feeling.
Yeah. Cool.
So to be honest, here's the thing. I acknowledge the importance of Kubernetes for the industry. I acknowledge the quality and its features and whatnot. I get it, right? I don't have the experience to go and set up Kubernetes myself. Have I played with kubectl? Yes, I've done a cluster here and there to a hello world, but no way people can ask me questions about Kubernetes. I'm just gonna say I don't know. Oh, yeah, that thing? I don't know. That would be my answer for any question regarding Kubernetes. And I think that's fine. I think developers should stop and pause and think, do I really need to understand this thing? If that's something that I want to, sure. But it's something that you need to. And my feeling is that most developers don't need to understand Kubernetes. Right. If I'm a developer, I'm a business application developer, I'm just writing some microservices and I'm like, here's the Docker image, buddy. Just go and you deploy on Kubernetes however you want. Here's my container image with my Quarkus application. It's all built natively and it runs nicely. So deploy however you want. I'm done with my job. I think that's fine. That's fair. So that's my message to the world. Stop thinking you need to know everything about everything, and that includes Kubernetes. You don't have to.
You're not the only one saying that. I remember Ray saying the feature that he would love to have for Kubernetes is that he can take his jar file and just drop it like we did it, dropping our war file in a deployment folder. He wants to do the same with Kubernetes, and I totally get it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And maybe we'll come to that at one point. Hey, we're running already late of time, and I need to show some stuff after that.
Yeah,
but it was really cool. Really cool to understand a bit more about because we know that Microsoft loves Java, that you use a lot Java, that you contribute a lot, but to have some details, like Azure. I do it all the time, provisioning VMs. Now I will think about, I just push something to Kafka. So I really like that. Okay. Hey, again, thank you a lot, Bruno. Enjoy your day because the day is starting for you. Speak to you soon. Okay. Thank you.
All right. See you later, buddy. Bye.
Bye-bye. So that was super cool. And I think looks like my quality, because I know that the connection from my guest is always good. But looks like my quality was not so bad. So let me know. You're really great on the chat. Come on. Say hello, tell jokes. I don't know. Let me see how much time we have left. Okay, so what I want to do now, let me see. What I really want to do is doing some sheet ups. Yeah, sheet ups. Let me try let me see if it works. I tried it this afternoon, 2 hours before the show, I say, what for cool demo can I show? Because for people who are used to come to the show, you know that I like to integrate Kubernetes with the craziest things. I integrated with Doom, with Minecraft, with Pac-Man, and I have other crazy ideas for this year. I ordered from startup something that can read your brain waves. Okay, it's I received it in March, and you can add some machine learning to that. And the first thing that I will try to do is to deploy a pod just by thinking about it. So I hope in March I will be able to show you that. Anyway, I was looking around on the internet, and a few months ago I saw this crazy thing. Someone that built an integration between Google Sheet and Kubernetes. Okay, let me try to share my screen. Let me hope it works, because I didn't do it before. Yeah, we should be now in. I'm sharing. Yes, I'm sharing my screen probably. Let me see. Let me see. I can check that on my feedback. Oh, the stream stopped. Oh no, it's lagging on my side. But I don't see the share. Let me see. Let me know in the chat if you if it's working, because I don't see my share. Oh, okay. I know why. Probably because I'm discovering the tool. Sorry. Probably because I'm in. No. Where is? Oh, maybe this one. Stop sharing. No. That's funny if I cannot share my screen. Let me try again. Your entire screen. Share. Okay. And oh, I have to bring it to the stage. There we go. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Now it works. Now it works. Okay. Okay. So okay, sheets ops. Should be good now. Sheet ops. So I found this really cool repo. Okay, I can share it with you. Let me paste that in the chat. Let me go here, and there we go. And basically, it says a spreadsheet to control your Kubernetes cluster. I say, really? So basically, what you need to do is to clone this repo. Then you connect to your cluster, and you do a kubectl proxy, and then you can go to this URL, and that brings you to a page something like this here. You have to sign in to create. You have to do some stuff beforehand. Create an application in Google, have an API key. But once you get it, what you have is you point to a Google Sheet. Okay, let me point this to this one. So this one is my cluster, okay? And this one is connected really to my cluster. Sorry, Bruno, not running on Azure, but this one is running on Amazon. If I go here, I can see all my namespaces. Each namespace is a tab. Yeah. So here I'm on my default namespace, and I got 2 deployments. And if we bring this up here, if I bring this up, and I do a kubectl get deployments. There we go. We should see, oh, my cluster is not so fast. Yeah, you can see that I have 2 deployments. And look, available free, okay? And that is my desired state for this my app free. I want free replicas. And let me try to do that. Let me do a watch kubectl get pods. So I should have 4 pods, 3 from number 3 and 1 from number 2. And can I put this in front? Well, let me do it this way. Let's say I want 5 pods now. Okay, and let me bring here the console. And there's some latency depending how the network is. But you should, look, there we go. I can just create pods from my Google Sheet. Isn't that fun? I find it really funny. So there's ours are running, okay, and maybe, yeah, I want to go back to foo. And that means that you can also have you can have formulas. Like here, how do I have formula? Like a sum. I want the sum of all my desired pods. I do this. Okay, and now I know that I have 3 pods running. Okay, let me double check here. Yeah, I got 3 pods running, and well, I can change stuff here again. I can, well, let me keep 3, and let's put this one to 3 as well. So I should go to 6 now, and so now your manager can handle the pods for you. Okay, so that was just to have some fun. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Pods creation. So again, I shared you the link. You can play it. You don't need to do it on a real cluster. You can probably do that with your Minikube or your Key3s. But I found it really, really, really funny. Let me go to the chat here. I don't know. James said, I don't see the share, but then I fixed it, I think, though. You should have seen it now. I have 5 seconds latency. So you don't have installed kubectl season plugin. Oh, already, you know. Yeah, so already mentioned the kubectl plugins. I discovered that thanks to Aurélie and Gaël. They learned us how to create kubectl plugins, and since then I don't stop playing with that. Last week, if you were here at the Tech Talk, you probably saw my talk. I was the guest, and I was explaining how you can create kubectl plugins using Quarkus and JBang, because JBang is a cool project. We will have more JBang after. One thing that you can see here, I've got a Kafka cluster already running. Then you get all these OpenShift. I don't see my Pacman here. I should see my Pacman namespace, because, yeah, we're going to play Pacman. And let me see the time. Yeah, we don't need to. Let me see what I do. Let me go here to my cluster. Yes, okay, there we go. So that's the same cluster as we had before. So, you know, if I go here to the default, you should see, wow, I don't know what, Amazon is always, yeah, Amazon is really, really busy tonight. Or my connection is really, really bad. Or a bit of both, okay? You don't want to go to my default. That's not so cool. Okay, anyway, let's go back to here. Oh. Let me see. Okay, we're back. Okay, I was afraid that I had to reconnect. Anyway, we are going to play Pac-Man all together, okay? So a lot of people already played it. Just every game that we play here. Let me see which view I'm using. Just one moment. I want to make it nice. Let me go here to Restream. Maybe I can put myself a bit bigger, like this. No, that's too much. Okay, so like this. Okay. Anyway, yeah. What we're going to do. Every game that I will show you in the show are games that are running on Kubernetes. And to be honest, we are running on OpenShift, okay? And remember, OpenShift is Kubernetes. And here I have 2 Quarkus applications, the Pac-Man Show, which is actually the Pac-Man game, which contains the game, and there's also a small backend. And every time that you eat a ghost, there's a Kafka record sent to a Kafka cluster, and the Kafka cluster collects that, and he knows which player has eaten which ghost, and compute some points, and then have the Pac-Man aggregator, which is a Kafka stream, also running as a Quarkus application, and we'll do all the Kafka crazy stuff and push that back to a global table, and that's the leaderboard, okay? But it's quite simple. It's just one pod running. I got my Kafka cluster running as well, and you know, it's really easy to run a Kafka cluster in OpenShift. If you use the operator, the stringy operator, it's just a matter of 3 clicks, really, 3 clicks. I install the operator, I say I want a new cluster, or 2 clicks maybe, and I'm done. I got a Kafka cluster running. So my Kafka cluster runner is running here. And what I'm going to do now is to share the links with you, because the other cool stuff with OpenShift is when you create a deployment, it's really easy to expose a root okay, with a public IP, and I don't have to do anything. So basically, to do that, I just had to point to a Docker container image from the UI and say, okay, I want to deploy this. And it was running. Let me go here to the game. Let me open that and let me share that with you. So let me go here, my live studio. No, not live studio. I got to go to the other studio and let me put it here. Okay, so now everyone can join the game and you can play the game. But remember, you score only points by eating ghosts. So it's a bit strategic, okay? Don't eat all the magic pills and then there are no more ghosts. So you have to be smart enough, okay? And what I will do, I hope you are joining the game. I will bring up the leaderboard, the scoreboard, okay? Again, that's a simple app, and here you will see my huge skills. Let me see. Okay, no one has joined the game because that was me just before to test. So start playing the game. I will try to play the game, and I will try to beat you all because I'm really good at Pac-Man. Okay, so let me wait that all the ghosts are out. A bit close. Yeah, there we go. So that's 1 point. Okay. Another point. Let me see. And there we go again. Okay. Whoa. Oh, yeah. When I play under stress, I'm not so good. So let me pause. And let me see if people have joined the game. Oh, two players, only 2 players have joined the game. Or maybe people have joined the game, but you are not making any points. Try to eat ghosts. So we have Margaret here. Oh, there. Now we have Dennis. We got some more players. Okay, let me check here in the log, in the chat, if everything goes well. Okay, and 4 players. We can do better because if I take a look here, there are almost 20 people connected. Okay, to the stream. So wake up and click on this link and join this really funny Pac-Man game. I will try to beat you, but it won't be easy. Come on, I'm really not so good today. And let know in the chat who you are, which nickname were assigned to you. And let me see. Oh no, come on. So game over. I'm already game over. Let me check here. Well, James is doing well. So who is James? Maybe it's Bruno. I'm sure Bruno is playing the game. So let us know in the chat. So that again is just to show you how cool. Well, it's just the main purpose is to have fun. That's the whole idea of the show. We have a cool interview. I show you some crazy demos, and then we play a game. Okay, and of course these games are all developed by our team. So this one I took an open source Pac-Man written in JavaScript, and then I added a Quarkus backend, and I still need to publish the code because I need to clean it up. I'm a bit ashamed of it, to be honest. So I need to clean it up, remove all my ugly workarounds. But the idea is that you can do it yourself. It's really 3 things to do. Deploy Pac-Man show, deploy Pac-Man aggregator, and that's it. I can just show you how easy it is for people who are not playing and watching me. Let's imagine I create another project called Pac-Man Live, because that's the live one. So here I create a new project, a namespace. That's the administrator view, okay? But if you are a developer, you might want to go to the developer view. And here from the topology, you can create a new project. You can point to a GitHub or GitLab, whatever project, okay, Git project. You can point directly to a container image. That's what I do. You can point to a Docker file that is maybe hosted in a Git repo, okay? But what I did was container image, okay? And then here you enter just the name of your image. And for me, it was Sebi2706 Pac-Man show latest. So this image is available on Docker Hub, so you can use it. It's validated. You can choose a runtime icon. Hey, look, AeroGear. That was the first team I joined when I joined Red Hat 8 years ago. cool to see that here. But it's a Quarkus app, okay? And then here, I want this as a deployment. I could go for a deployment config. If I had serverless installed, Knative, I could pick here serverless service, and it will deploy that for me as a serverless service. Okay, and here I can add some values. So, for instance, what I need to do in my Pac-Man game, I need to add some environment variables. Okay, to know where he has to connect to which Kafka cluster. So I can do that directly from here. Okay, so I got these values here. Let me copy that, and there we go. I paste that, and then I do create. And it will also create a route for me. Okay, and there we go. We got my Pac-Man show, and the cluster is probably getting created, container creating, and in a few seconds it will be running. Let me see if other people join the game. Yeah, we have a few. We have 7 players, so that's cool. Let me see the chat. If everything is okay, you're really quiet in the chat. I hope in 15 days you will be less, a bit more chatty, okay? Because I love the interaction. And let me see. And yeah, my game, my pod is running. Okay, cool. I could add else checks also just by clicking. So, you know, if you don't like YAML like Bruno, you can do almost everything just by clicking. Here I can say add Readiness probe. Okay, I can do all this stuff. But at the end, I got here my other Pac-Man running, and I should have my route here. And that should bring me to another instance. So that's another instance of Pac-Man, okay? What I can also do from here, if I go to my topology, I get 1 pod. Well, I could just scale up to 3 pods here, okay? And okay, that's it. Last thing, I just want to see if my Pac-Man namespace appears here in my Google Sheet, because that would be cool. But there's some, yeah, it could be a bug. I think it only takes the namespace once you give authorization to Google to connect to this Google Sheet with your cluster. It takes all the namespaces. It will take into account your pods, but not a new namespace. I think that's the issue. Okay, well, it's not really an issue, but anyway, let me go back to Restream. Let me just see who is the winner of the game, because there must be a winner, and it is clearly Margaret 203. So Margaret, let us know who you are on the chat, so we can congratulate you. Let me stop the screen share, stop sharing, and let me see. No one's. Maybe you're shy and there's some delay. Let me know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. We had a great interview. I think the connection was better. It's better set up than before. We are back in 15 days. I cannot tell you who will be the guest, because, to be honest, I still need to find a guest, but it will be easy. I will find a guest. If you have some ideas, just drop them in the chat or tweet me. You should see my Twitter handle here. No. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Here, Sebi2706, okay? My DMs are open. Just follow me, drop me a message. Next week's Tech Talk with Edson. I don't know what the topic is. I should have prepared it. But anyway, I wish you good evening or good day, depending where you are. And we see each other in 15 days, unless that you are a French-speaking person, and that you subscribe for my Kubernetes deep dive that I'm giving on the same channel next Tuesday. Okay, you have to register to that to get the link, because it's an unlisted link. I will give a 1-hour Kubernetes deep dive. So think about it, and I wish you an awesome evening. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.